Hey everybody, this is Cam for 15 and I'm back with another video. And this video, I was actually thinking about doing this, but like my other, favorite sports teams, game recaps and reviews, I wanted to include the UCLA, Bruins for their NCAA football, campaign. And yeah, so let's talk about tonight's the first game of the Bruins season, and you know talk about some things I saw from tonight's game that I thought were good and some things that I thought were bad. Um, Sadly for Bruins fans, like me and others, we lost sadly to the Cincinnati Bearcats yet again for the second straight year in a row. We lose to them by the score of 24-14. So that brings our total to 0-1. Um, I'm going to give just some of the game leading stats that I saw, and talk about some of the things that I liked. Um, Before I get to the stats, I'm gonna get to the things I'd like to get out of the way because technically, right now, I know it's still the first game, but I'm having a lot more negatives than positives. Um, I can say, for one thing, is I did like Felton. Um, Felton tonight. Let me see what his full name. Number 10. If you didn't know what number he was. But Felton, I thought, played a really good. Demetric Felton. I thought he played a really good game tonight. He, by far tonight, was our best player on the field. Like, he legit was our best player on the field tonight for the Bruins. More importantly, he kept us in the game, along with a little extent to the defense here and there throughout the game. But really, he was the only offensive dude who was doing anything in our offense. Like, that's it. Now, our main guy, um, he wasn't. Crap, I forgot his name. Um, whatever. But he was injured, didn't see a snap and stuff like that. I know, I can't remember his name, but let me see if I can find it real quick. But apparently, let me see if I can find it, guys. Come on, load. Load. Yeah, Joshua Kelly. Joshua Kelly. Yeah, he did not play in tonight's game, but yet he was suited up. He was in pads and everything. He just did not see the field for whatever reason. If it's for injury precaution, then okay. Um, you know, Another positive I can probably take away from this game is, the defense at some key moments. I liked what they were giving me. Um, but with the exception of a few key drives that we needed stops, I thought the defense played all right. It could definitely have played better, but it was all right. Um, so I'm gonna get into the team stats. You know, we had 12 first downs to the Bearcats 23. We converted on 6 of our 17 third downs. You know, we had surprisingly another thing I did like to see is we had 4 turnovers. We had 4 turnovers. That's what I like to see, and you'll be hearing me say that a lot in my Bears reviews that I love the turnovers. And some of these turnovers came at very key, um, you know, or actually, my bad. We had two turnovers. We had four turnovers on offense. My bad, my bad. But I liked the two turnovers we had. The interception and the strip fumble. Um, I thought they were great, great, great plays made by our defense, and those plays really kept us in the game when there were key moments we had to make a stop, and we got those stops and we made those stops. As for penalties, we had nine penalties for 60 yards. Like I say in my Bears recap videos, I would like penalties to be, kept to a low, like five or less. I thought it was bad that, we had this many penalties and stuff like that. That's almost 10. We were only one penalty short of Cincinnati's penalty. Cincinnati had 10 penalties. So hopefully next week, usually they can clean up their penalty acts. Um, Now we get into the thing that kind of upset me, and really, I think this is the main reason why we lost tonight's game. Throughout the entire night, um, you know, I was looking throughout the game like we had an actual shot to beat Cincinnati, and for 1 minute, and to be honest, Cincinnati, in my opinion, didn't really look all that good. Yeah, they had a few scores and they had a few nice plays here and there, but if we're being real, UCLA should have won tonight. I thought Cincinnati played pretty average. Um, and, I think it was because of our defense that, they couldn't hold him to at least, 14 point or 17 points at the least because our DBs are playing literally 15 yards off the ball after the snap is hiked. And that's another thing that I gotta say. The DBs, I think they played well and making open field tackles, but who was the DB coach? Because every time I saw tonight's game, when the Cincinnati quarterback, you know, let the Cincinnati quarterback Riddler, when he was throwing, there was a wide open target, and a UCLA defensive back was literally like, 10 to 15 yards off of him, coming up to make a tackle, and he's like and he's tackled 1 yard short of the freaking first down. I'm like, where are the DBs? You just can't have these dudes having like hitch routes and everything and just camping out there. They got us a few times on the pick plays. There's one pick play where two of the UCLA DBs bump into each other. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Stick to your man. Or, stay back in zone coverage. Somebody gets the outside guy. Someone just stays on the outside and gets the outside guy. Well, someone just lets the inside go guy come to him. And, you trade off. I don't know why. Hopefully the DBs, they play more upfront on the receivers than don't let the receivers have like, a 10-yard difference from them. I would like to see the DBs play a little bit better from coverage standpoint. That's my opinion. But now I'm gonna talk about one of the biggest reasons why I think we lost this game, and I think that was a little bit of play calling, and but morely a majority of our quarterback play. Um, I know it's week one, but UCLA fans, Dorian Thompson Robinson, I'm just gonna say this. It's only week one, but my goodness, he played awful tonight. He played awful, and I don't think you can deny that. He played awful. Literally from the moment the first drive happened, um, he really, didn't do next to nothing. And his stats were he went 8 for 26 for 156 yards, two touchdowns, and two interceptions. Now, if we take away the touchdowns, he had an awful night. And technically, if I want to add to the stat line, he had 2 fumbles. And the fumbles weren't like fumbles where he got punched out. He legit had the ball in his hands and dropped the ball on 2 different occasions in this game, on 2 key drives. Very first drive, we get the ball. We're in the red zone. He fumbles it, trying to make a play out of nothing instead of just, running out of bounds or throwing it away. Um, you know, Matt Hasselbeck on the first fumble said it should be a 1-2-3. It should be a 1-2-3 roll, throw, 1-2-3 throw. If you see nothing, throw it away or just run out of bounds. And then the second fumble he had, he was literally dropping back for a pass, and then he puts his arm for it, and the ball just slips out of his hand. I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on here? And, the more I look at this game, the more I see we lost. We not only lose this game because of just inefficient play calling at inopportune times from Chip Kelly and his offensive coordinator, but really bad to awful quarterback play. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, to be honest, ever since he first, came in for Wilton Speight last year, I never really saw him as a starting quarterback. I'm sorry, if you're a fan of this kid, I never saw him as a #1 dude. And after tonight, it also makes my case and proves my fact that, he was literally next to no nullified. Cincinnati, the entire game was stopping us on the run because they knew, look, we need to put the ball in Robinson's hand. If we do that, we win the game. And, credit to Cincinnati's defense. They stuffed the run almost, for a majority of the game. Really with, UCLA breaking out for a few runs. But next to none, they shut down our passing offense because, they rattled Dorian Thompson-Robinson. They got under his skin. And I think the moment the pressure started getting on him, he just made dumb play after dumb play. One of the interceptions he made, he just chucked it up in the air. There was nobody in the area, and the dude just picks it off like that. I'm like, what are you throwing to? He almost had a third interception. It was the same thing like it. Going back to Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he wasn't accurate for most of the game. There was key passes that should have been completed. There was one pass that should have been an easy touchdown pass. Actually, 2 easy touchdown passes. He overshot them because he threw an inaccurate ball instead of just playing catch with your receiver and throwing an accurate ball. I did not like what I saw tonight from Dorian Thompson-Robinson. If not, I'm even more disappointed from this first game than last year. He legit kept us away from winning this game. And the more mistakes he made, the more, problems it was for us to win the game. And now maybe I can see that's why we got pretty conservative play calling. Because the play calling to me, it looks like Chip Kelly has no confidence in him. Like, legit no confidence in him throwing the ball. And my point is this: if you have no confidence in your starting quarterback, why is he even out there? You might as well put the backup in and see what he can do. At this point, I'm going to give Dorian Thompson-Robinson maybe 2 more weeks. And if he can't show me anything in those next 2 weeks, I might have to be honest and I might have to just start calling for the backup's job and see if he can come in and do a better job. I don't know how he looks in practice. I'm just not impressed. 8 for 26. He couldn't even get 10 completions at the least. And then 156 yards. That's nothing. He really only had just the one breakout play, which was basically Felton's breakout play. But next to none, Dorian Thompson-Robinson has no highlights. His highlights is turning the ball over tonight and having the inefficiency to help this offense move. And we can't have him move this ball. I'm sorry. We're not going to win games. We're going to lose more games than win them. I would like to see how the backups do. Maybe we can get a rotation with the backups. Like, he plays one half, another quarterback plays another half, or a quarter thing. I I just didn't think he did a really good job tonight. He played pretty awful by my standards of quarterback play. And trust believe, as a Bears fan, if I saw Mitch Trubisky play this bad, oh my goodness. As a Bears fan, you would be hearing it from me. Um, Dorian Thompson Robinson, in my eyes, does not look like a starting quarterback for this team. He looks like an inexperienced quarterback, this is. And, this is coming off a year where he should be, well enough to understand Chip Kelly's system after being in it for a year. When he coming out of high school, he was the number one dual rank, quarterback. I'm not seeing that. Now he can run. I'm seeing that he can run the ball good. But as for throwing it, I'm sorry, he's got no arm to show up. He's very inaccurate at points in time. Every time he drops back to pass, I don't feel confident in him throwing the ball down the field. And I feel like the moment you get pressure on him, that's when he starts to get antsy. And then when he gets antsy, he starts to make bad decisions. He's literally forcing throws that he shouldn't be forcing. He holds the ball on for too long, and by the time the ball gets on there, he's, forcing it and making a bad play. He almost got one play. He almost do another. Is there another interception where he's just a play action pass? The moment he turns around, there's just Cincinnati defenders in his face. Instead of just getting down and taking a sack, which is probably the safer way to go, even though that was another key drive, he just freaking just chucks it out of nowhere to his freaking left when he's rolling to his freaking right, and he almost throws a pick because of it. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Look, Dorian Thompson Robinson, in the next 2 weeks, he needs to improve his quarterback play. Because if he's not, and it looks like Chip Kelly's not play calling for him, where, he hasn't any confidence in play calling for him, why is he even out on the field? That's my thing. If you're a head coach and your starting quarterback is not doing well and you're not calling plays that can suit him best, or you look like you're calling plays that have next to no confidence in his abilities, he shouldn't be out there. Put in the backup quarterback and see what they can do. I really don't think we've had decent quality play since we had Josh Rosen, really. And if you go before that, Brett Hundley. Makes me wish those times, because, I thought they were really good quarterbacks when they were here. Dorian Thompson Robinson, I just think needs to play better. Otherwise, if I'm Chip Kelly, I don't see how you can start this dude anymore. If 3 weeks from now he doesn't pick up his game of play, he doesn't have one standout game where he's just, doing really good, I don't know how he can be starting for the UCLA Bruins and stuff like that. And maybe some of that pressure was on him because Joshua Kelly's not in the game. Still, you got a very good rushing night from Felton, and I feel like Dorian Thompson Robinson just held us back tonight. If he had just played a better game and he had, at least 200, maybe 300 yards passing tonight, I think we actually might come out winning this game just barely, maybe, 28-24. We might have came out of this game victors. And it's just depressing. It's just depressing to see that your starting quarterback can't come in and, help out this offense. He literally did next to nothing in this offense. And I'm very disappointed. I expected more out of Dorian Thompson Robinson. And again, if you're going to be winning number one, you better be playing like a number one player. Because you sure as hell did not play like a number one player. I don't know who the backup is, but like I said, I'm giving Dorian Thompson Robinson 2 more weeks. If he fails to show me anything in the next 2 weeks, I'm sorry. He might have to. Chip Kelly has to consider benching him. Otherwise, the school will probably end up, telling Chip Kelly, like, look, you're gonna have to bench the kid. Now Dorian Thompson Robinson plays well, is a quarterback that should be doing well, and is a quarterback suited to Chip Kelly's offense. I just don't know why he can't, he's got the running down. It's the passing that just needs work. And if he can't develop as a passer, I'm sorry. The Bruins are gonna have to look and try to recruit another quarterback that can go out there and pass for them. Um, you know, we're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see where his progression goes. But other than that, there's really nothing else I have to talk about. That's what I really thought were the negatives of this game. That Dwayne Thompson Robinson, he kept this really out of the game for a majority part of the thing. We had chances we could have got back in this game, and he just couldn't keep us in this game. And hopefully next week that changes. Now, as for next week we play San Diego State. So, as go as predictions goes, um, we're playing San Diego State back at home, and we should beat San Diego State. That's a team you should not win. You should not lose to. If you can get yourself a W and make yourself feeling confident going to week 3 against Oklahoma, you know, that's even better. So I'm not saying it's a must win, but in terms of confidence reasoning, UCLA needs to win tonight's game, or next week's game, or really next Saturday's game. It's going to be interesting to see if Jordan Thompson Robinson can step up at home. Otherwise, he might hear some boos from the fans if they're not moving the offense at all. And I would like to see more pass plays, instead of, run, pass. You saw that too much, and that's like, very conservative offense. So, you know, like I said, a disappointing loss tonight, but we can still bounce back from this the next week. So Bruins fans, guess what? It's just 1 week. We can always play, the next week better. It's just the start of the season. You know, like I said, this team is still a pretty fairly young team. One of my goals is that we just have a very good season. We have, more than a 3-win season. And also beat USC this year. But I know this. If we had played USC tonight, we would have gotten smacked up. Because I know this year we play in the Coliseum. So hopefully the Bruins can turn it around next week against San Diego State. And, after that game, I will be giving a recap on that game. So this has been Cam for 15 with your UCLA Bruins recap. Other than that, you guys have a great night. And yeah, till then, that's it.